Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's podcast. My name is Alicia Sullivan, previously known as Alicia Nelson. I am also the president of the Simply Irresistible Girl. Today, we have a very, very special guest by the name of Shanade Beharry. And I just wanted to introduce herself. I mean, I'm so happy to see Shanade here. Shanade, just update us, tell us what has been going on, how it is, it is right now being back in Trinidad, also working for a US company. Talk about it.
Well, it's a chapter of my life I didn't expect, because I thought it was going to be typical. You go abroad to study, you get a job abroad, and then you just stay there kind of thing. But then I ended up back here, almost like if the prayers of my grandmother just grabbed me right back. Things have been going pretty well, still very busy. Like I never left the States. So it has been a lot. Still have some stuff at my friend's place, and I'm working on getting that down here and all that good things. I have a weird arrest record in Ireland. So I have a whole locked abroad story that I put out there recently in a podcast, but it was just a satirical something. But I'll post an actual update on what went on and why it happened, because there's a whole reason about why they took me and they sent me back to the States kind of thing. So there's a whole reason behind that whole thing.
Wow.
Everything lasted, just kind of happened.
Yeah.
Very quickly. It was over the course of a few days. And then I ended up right back at home. So
wow. But how hard do you miss the States right now?
I miss the conveniences of the States. I miss being able to order something on Amazon and get it tomorrow. I miss being able to just go to a restaurant at 1:30 a.m. just because it closes at 2:30. So you just go. You just feel for pancakes and eggs, and you just go to a place that sells pancakes and eggs. I miss going to Walmart at 4 a.m. I miss all of that. I miss the that close at 5. I miss the 24-hour McDonald's. I miss all of that. The conveniences that were there.
Yeah. Shanade, I could totally relate with you, because I don't think I could make back the transition back. And that is so it. So everyone who don't really know about my history, well, most of you, my subscribers would know, I am Trinidadian too as well. And now I live in the States too as well. So it's just good to have, Shanade here talking about our experience. For all Trinidadians, press that subscribe button. We will give you the details. But besides I diving into the details, I want you all to know more about Shanade. Shanade, tell them exactly what you do and tell them about your podcast and what you talk about on your podcast.
Of course. I work for a very small American company, and they do medical technology. They focus primarily around concussions. You can link with me on LinkedIn if you feel like, because I share what it is they post. They've been doing a lot more research and different research studies. I do quality assurance engineering. I make sure that our technology is up to speed. I work with clients and ensure that they have everything working as they should, or I help with troubleshooting, just as a vendor mostly, because most businesses have their own IT department. So it's just to kind of work through their little requirements and restrictions. So I kind of double up as an IT support person and quality assurance engineering. I do test automation as well. I have different builds of the apps just to kind of give documentation. I utilize the system called Jira just to keep everything well documented. I also dabble a little bit in process improvement. So this is a small company. You do a bit of everything. But yeah.
Right. And you didn't talk about your podcast. Come on, girl.
I did. Yeah. So I have a podcast. It's on hiatus again because life happens.
Yes.
And I do have a bunch of scripts that I'm working on, but it's called From Your Zoomerenial. And actually being around my niece again helps a lot, because I find myself giving her a bunch of advice, so things like learning about empathy and what manipulation looks like. And I'm thinking that would be a really good episode to bring in with her on there with me. So being around my niece and my cousin's children, much younger children, they're like my nieces and nephews as well, 'cause I see them all the time. It's just giving me an opportunity that I am no longer far removed from them. Because at one point when I first started that podcast, I was far removed from my niece. And it's really to give that kind of the parent sibling that you feel like they know you better kind of thing. So with my niece, because of our age difference, she feels that I get her a lot better because I was her age just 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So I
Oh
still
my God.
have very close memories of what it was like during that time. Now, granted, we're very different people. The same advice still stands. The same manipulation tactics still exist. The
Wow.
same people are just, they want to lead you astray because they want to better than you. That still happens. She recently transferred, so her whole experience is very
Wow.
different now. So she's a different experience than I did. I never transferred school.
Yeah.
So we're working on developing more content. I have my brother and his girlfriend, one of my episodes that I need to edit still. It's just talking about how working, why do we have to do it? Are we addicted to work? My brother and I are both workaholics. So
Yeah.
so people who are workaholics, we're trying to like see how they feel about that. You find yourself getting obsessed and the whole work from home thing. I easily work like 50 hours or 60 hours a week, not because I want to, it just happens.
Yeah.
So for other people, I somewhat don't really relate to them fully on the whole, I don't do anything. I find myself missing the office and I'm like, I don't miss the office.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
that person that either distract other people or I get distracted by people because, you know, that whole, I'm the cubicle person that just goes, hey, Alicia, so
Yeah,
how was
I
your
remember.
weekend?
You know what? Even in my internship, I remember Shanade Beharry, everyone. And that's why, we have
Yeah,
this good relationship. And, we are also, we honestly, we are persistent people. We know exactly what we want. And
yeah,
despite different
yeah,
walks, we are doing what we need to do. But that is Shanade Beharry all in a nutshell. I remember that.
yeah,
But you know what? That's the good thing because I remember seeing Shanade Beharry when I was in my internship. I was like, she's so bubbly. Everybody else I met was like, not everybody else, but a lot, besides Linus and you and others, it
yeah,
was a lot more fun, you know what I mean? More
yeah.
smiley, optimistic, we like the optimism is very, very important. So I
Yeah.
understand what you're saying.
And we're
Oh
also
my God.
both Black women in tech. So,
Yeah, that is so true. And I wouldn't talk about my tech journey here too, but it is going in a good journey too. But I want to
yes,
say I am so happy for you. You know what I mean?
yes. I am very, like, I tell my mom remembers you very well. So I
Wow.
give her
Yeah.
updates, and this is how Alicia's been doing. And she just here, like, I could have seen her getting to that point. Like, she could have seen you going abroad and flourishing even better because you will be in
Yeah.
that environment to meet people that could really push you to have your own
Yeah.
store and to as far as I know, I think you're one of those people that have like multiple different businesses, I think.
Yes,
From what I've been seeing, yeah.
exactly. Yes, exactly. And
I miss online shopping so much. Like,
I have it now. But
yeah,
everyone, listen, me and Shani have like good history. Her
yeah,
mom, oh God, I remember your mom. Oh my God, she was
yeah,
such like, black career woman. When we was
yeah,
there, we all wanted to push hard. I don't know if anybody know our friend Linus too as well.
yes,
Really good too as well. And I know he's pushing right now too as well. So Shani, oh my God, I just glad we did this because we
yes,
are bringing back memories. And you know what? We are saying, the sky is the limit.
yes, yes, it is.
So
It
Shanae,
is.
oh my God, I want to dive into some of these questions, but I'm glad
Yes.
you give everyone information about your podcast. But I know some of these questions seem very broad, but the reason why I want to do it is because I realize like a lot of things go viral right now. Every time I plan a script, people like the little things that are not so important go viral now. So I am testing the water.
Of course, unless you have to throw what sticks. What I've learned about marketing and well, mostly advertising, you have to just throw something out there and see what sticks, and then you
Yeah,
like keep refining it further and further until you have your niche.
exactly. That is it, because that is exactly what I'm doing. So I want to go to my first question to you. How
Of
would
course,
you like to be remembered?
I would always like to be remembered as the smiley, optimistic, feel good person. So, like, I mean, currently people do remember me that way, and I try my very best to still be that way. Of I was never really that negative person. I was always just there, like, you have some idea and it sounds insane, and I'm like, no, 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 please do that. You just
Yeah.
don't know. It's the craziest things that tend to attract people. Go for that. Just go for that. Some people have been very successful with that way of doing things. Like, I have been trying to get one of my friends to do like this weird customer service of like, you're not rude, but it's like, we treat you like family. So you know how you talk to your family a kind of blasé kind of way. And for some reason that worked for them because people were just so shocked by that they had to go back.
Yeah.
So it's just that I want to always remember as bubbly and that feel good aspect that you could come with me with any idea or some kind of comment, and I just don't take it personally or negatively because I try my best to put a positive spin on things, even if it didn't seem positive at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my God, that is motivational by itself. Talking from experience, it's
Yeah.
very good to have optimistic people around sometimes because, listen, Shanae, I have met the negative, and it's such a vibe killer.
It is.
And even though they are successful, it's such a vibe killer, you know? So I understand where you're coming from. Listen, we are all learning. You
Yes.
understand? Do you have any regrets? Next question.
I have some regrets that I never fully built a proper portfolio of my skill sets. And so right now I'm kind of like, every so often I poke around and I work on that because I recognize I myself would love that if I were to hire someone or introduce somebody to some kind of concept that I would get to see previous work of theirs, but I can't ask them for something that I myself don't have.
Yeah.
So I wish my past self could have kept things more organized so that I could show people this is what I'm capable of doing. Whereas right now I'm spending time working on that so my future version of myself would thank past me. So
yeah.
that's my biggest regret. Everything else other than that is kind of like, life kind of happened. And I couldn't have known that those things would have taken place because of decisions that I made.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my God, that is so good. I want to ask another question. This is more internal. What is your first memory of me? I mean,
my first memory of you was, I think you were in the engineering department at NGC.
Yeah. Yes.
And I don't know what I was doing. I was just like walking around aimlessly. And all I could think of is, I really shouldn't ask that lady over there. She's like dressed up really office-like and she looks super savvy. And I don't want to do the things that I'm going to waste her time. But I'm looking for this particular guy and he's in engineering and he just looks super professional, super neat. And I'm just here like looking all, I don't know what I'm wearing today. And I'm like, because you like always had these outfits that were super well put together. The colors would always match. And your hair was like super, super neat. And I'm just there like, all right, I'm sure she's really nice. Just go up there and just ask, is this guy in the office? If he's not, then apologize for wasting the time. So I just went and I was like, hi, good morning. And so and so. And then you just had this smile. And I was like, oh, okay. That's my earliest memory of you was just, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Everybody don't know about Shanade Beharry, but listen, when you see Shanade Beharry, everybody would smile. I will remember that. She had such a lovely smile, such optimism, such like, yeah, I'm ready to take over the world. And listen, at the same time, fun, like really fun. So I just wanted to ask that, you know? So what do you wish you had known 10 years ago?
Oh, that's a really good question. If I was 17 years old and I knew about investing in the stock market or investing in companies, I probably would have been way better off now with finances than I was then. So like specifically, I was reading a Yahoo Finance article from June earlier this year. And if I was 17 years old and I had access to $1,000 at that time, I would have invested it in Amazon 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Because let's just exclude dividend payments and me putting money back in and all that. If I just left at $1,000 at 17, around this time, that $1,000 would be worth, that money currently be $17,957.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And that's assuming I don't put my dividends back in.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have gone up so much in value. And then Amazon is worth trillions of dollars right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have loved to have known about investing at that age. Because I would have been so much better off now. And I'm trying to teach my niece about it. So we invested in a real estate company. She's 15.
So, that's the time. That's the time.
Real estate is always your best bet. If you're new to investing, I recognize people always need somewhere to live. So,
that is so true.
Yeah. And technology.
And everybody always want a house. You know what I mean? And I don't know if people are familiar with passive income too as well. I wish I knew passive income very early. Like I'm talking 9, 8, 7 years. Right now we have a lot of people doing passive income at an early age. By the time they're 18 million, and it's so true. I'm seeing that up here. So what Shanade is saying here is very, very informative. And I could agree with her. Like, I wish I knew a lot of things now, but the whole point is we are still young and we are still achieving. So that's exactly. But we wish we knew those things. Like I said, I wish I knew. I would have started my YouTube channel at the age of 5 if I only knew. Because,
I mean, that would have been cool.
Listen,
people get to see you grow up in front of their eyes.
I saw a kid starting YouTube channel making. I know a kid. I don't want to call it age, but I know this person personally. Their father came to me for advice, and this kid is like, I'm telling you, like maybe 12 years, making $1,500 every month on YouTube with a 2 million subscribers, followers. I just want to say that if I knew some of those things at the age of 5. And like some of the things I was doing, and even though, I'm good at it now and you're progressing, like if I knew it earlier, I would have started at an earlier age.
Yes.
And then never work for people, maybe work in the working place, maybe it's because I think anytime you work in a corporate place, you gain corporate knowledge, you know, to handle your own business and stuff, you know, to be professional, you know, to deal with people, because people don't know dealing with business. You had to be real tough here. You had to be very, very meticulous, and you have to be able to take negative when people do drop it to you. And not because people drop it to you is because they want to be negative. No, it's because they have their own insecurity too as well. And they always think that everybody's situation is their situation. So that's talking from business experience here. We are telling you things that we know. But Shanade, I love that answer you said. That is it. That is so it. That is so it. So like I hope my little sister is listening to this too as well. And my little sister, I remember, started her YouTube channel. At a point when she stopped. And I told her, why you stop?
Yeah.
And she didn't understand me, but I was like, why you stop? There's so out there that we need to get involved with.
Yeah. There's also ways to schedule your content. So like right now, I'm trying to use that to my best, because the older I get, I don't know if this is going to resonate with anyone. I am an adult woman with symptoms of ADHD, meaning I get paralyzed in my own brain of, this is why I start things hot and sweaty for a while and then I just stop. And I recognize I need to be able to cater for the future. So it's like, I have been pushing with my friend's business. Like, if you don't have the time to keep posting on your social media, let's schedule it for next week. Actually, if we're feeling in the mood right now, let's schedule it for weeks to come. So one of my friends, he's not my friend, it's my boyfriend now. He does stream.
Congratulations.
He makes money every month just streaming video games.
Wow. Yes, I know about that too as well.
He became a Twitch affiliate earlier this year in May. Like at the very last day of May, he pushed really hard and streamed for 8 hours. And he got to Twitch affiliate in that day. And I know we worked on his social media to consistently post on every single Monday, right down until the end of the year.
Yeah.
So every single Monday, he has posts on his social media. And people have been interacting with it because it's a consistent thing now. It is. Once a month, we'll like add more posts for the weeks to come. And now I'm just here like, okay, if I want to work on my podcast, I need to aim for a certain month and just schedule those posts for my podcast every single week continuously. And now I'm like, when I ever feel like recording recording TikTok videos, I'll record the TikTok videos in like one sitting, a whole bunch of them, and then I post them periodically. And that's been working. Random posts get like thousands of views, and I'm like, why? Yeah. I uploaded something controversial the other day. It got like 12,000 views, and lots and lots of people in the comments just like arguing, it's not true, it doesn't happen. And people going, yes, that's true. That happens all the time. And I'm like,
listen, people, I like how you say that. People, that is key there, because what Shanade giving you there is big advice that you should follow. People don't know. It's consistency with those things. It's consistency. Yes, it's a lot of work. People don't know, but it's consistency and a lot of work. And as she's saying that, I know that too as well. It's a lot of work, but you have to be consistent in order to make it. Yeah. It's not for the weak. It's for the strong and for consistency.
It is for the strong. And it is. Content creation is a lot, because when you find your thing, you have to stick with that thing.
Yeah.
so that's the thing. That's the problem. And then I love looking at certain TikTokers because you could see when their thing took off.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So like that, I don't know if you ever saw that TikToker. I think her name is Chris. She's Canadian and she has these small hands.
No, I haven't been on TikTok for a while.
Yeah, that happens to me too. Like ever so often, I like wouldn't go on TikTok for like a month and then go back in hot and sweaty and post content. And then when I post content consistently for like weeks, I start to get a bunch of views and people follow me randomly, and I'm just here like, okay, this is it's just to continuously upload.
It's so true what she's saying. It's the same thing that she says, the same thing with YouTube. As you know, my platform is more YouTube. But what exactly Shanade Beharry is talking here is exactly the truth. I remember a point at time, I had like, you know, my channel raised actually to 13, right? And it dropped a little. And it dropped a little point at time when I decided that month, I was like, you know what? I can't skip 3 weeks. Within that 3 weeks, some subscribers dropped. People messaged me. I was like, post comment, and I didn't have the you reach. I don't know if people understand this, but when you are content creator, there's a point of time when you do have that, you know, that zeal, and you don't want, and you just can't do it, and you just don't want to force yourself to just do anything mediocre. Because now, as my channel increase, I realize, you know what, I have to do great content, because if I don't, people will be like, I'm not watching the show. Sorry for my language. So you know, I can relate. I can relate, and I'm glad everyone is learning this video, and I'm glad to have Shanade Beharry, because you see, when you have somebody who is doing it, and her platform is TikTok, does a lot of podcasts, check out that too as well. We know exactly how it is. And Dory, at the end, we will definitely make Shanade give all the information to her social media so you could be able to follow. Okay, everyone? Follow. So what is your, I shouldn't ask what is your biggest failure. I don't like that, but you know what? In life, people fail and we do pass. So what is your biggest failure and what did you learn from it? Because we always learn from failure. Yeah.
I wouldn't exactly say it's a failure. It was more of ignorance. So last October, that was about the height of the pandemic for most countries. I had this plan of I'm going to go to Europe. I'm going to do the whole backpacking Europe thing for a year. And then I might go to Trinidad afterwards. And I did not Google properly about what was going on in the Republic of Ireland at that point in time. So I went to Dublin thinking like, oh, they'll accept me because my country's borders are closed and you know, I can't physically go home without permission to enter. So I went to Dublin, ignorant as I was, only for them to be like, oh, like you don't have enough money to be here, and why did you actually come? Are you trying to just stay in our country illegally? Because I only had a one.
They did that very one.
So they didn't like any of the things that I said, and they were just like, "We're going to send you back to the States because we don't know why you're here, and the pandemic is getting worse here." And well, you know what? When I Googled after they sent me back, because I had to stay in this police station overnight, it was there for 22 hours. I went back to the States and I Googled people getting sent back to their countries from Ireland. It was because the pandemic was worsening. They also felt that people weren't really coming to Dublin or to Ireland to come see their country genuinely. They were coming to just pass through to get into the UK. And Brexit was going on at that point in time. And I was like, I would really have loved to have known that before I left, so I wouldn't have gone there.
Yeah, no, it happens. I know these things when it comes to traveling. But Shanade saying that my husband, like, he is Irish, part Irish German. So Ireland is a big culture. So that's a good thing. I would like to see you go there, you know. So
it's to know that you need to have enough money to be there. You need a return ticket when you get there.
I learned that.
Having a place to stay helps, but it's not enough. So like I had a place that I already booked, but they felt that I didn't have enough money to be there. And they felt that how am I going to get a plane ticket back? Because they didn't trust that what I was saying about my job was true. They didn't felt like they thought I was there for other reasons. That was malicious. So and then when I left, they went on level 5 lockdown, meaning you have to stay put where you are. Until March this year.
Thank God. Thank God.
So I would have gotten stuck.
Oh my God. Shanade,
So that was my biggest thing that I was like, I need to next time I travel, I need to go and look into that. Like,
Yeah.
what is the chances of me getting sent back? That was never on my radar. Before I would just fly to countries just willy nilly and one way tickets and
Yeah.
be fine and then book ticket while I was there to leave. So no,
Yeah.
now it's different.
Now it's different. I learned that too as well. They want to return because they always think you want to stay. Or yeah. Everyone, I'm glad you. I'm gonna go to the next question. No, that is good. What advice would you give someone wanting to pursue a career similar to yours?
I would definitely say grow a thick skin. One, grow really thick skin, because people are going to tell you all sorts of things that they don't even know you. They don't know how you work. So they're going to tell you the world of things that aren't even true. Just grow thick skin. But that's for any profession, really. But I recommend that highly, especially if you are a woman and you are a woman of color.
Oh my God. Because that make a big difference. When you talk, I'll talk about my experience, but I know exactly. Yeah.
You don't have the same level of exposure that somebody else would have. Like basically a white man will have a different set of experiences that they would want him there. And sometimes they want him to because he's a white man, but things are different nowadays. So it depends on where you're going. You have to be very careful about that assumption.
It depends. It depends. Yeah. It's so true. It's so true. I say too as well, because even my experience, I've been traveling to different states. I said I'm going to New Orleans next this week, Thursday. So I will be, I'm going around. I'm touching the water, Shani, but talking to you is very, very serious. I had similar experience, not in New York City, because New York City is very diversified, but I didn't know very, and everybody's accepting, but I didn't know, like, when I started business and I started mingling with different states, like the states like Mississippi and stuff, where my race was like a real thing, So it depends on where you go. And as you learn during time. But I'm hoping during with modernization and stuff, people do change from now. So let's, I just want to talk about that, people. Let's respect everyone. Let's respect every race, every color, every creed. Let's love everyone. We all here to learn. You can learn from someone else. No one is better than no one. There's no supreme race. There's no that, etc. Sorry, I had to say that. But let's love. Let's love. Last time I remember, I did a video like that because I think my YouTube channel raised some money for policing equity, Center of Policing Equity. Equity. I don't want to say the wrong thing. My channel raised 1 million for them. And within that video, that's not me making that. YouTube have ways to make channels that's growing. Make sure they make that money. It ain't going nowhere in my pocket, so none of that money was given to me. But it was raised for raised for that cause. But I remember doing that video and I was talking about equity, and somebody actually went and like bashed my channel. It was like total hate. So you know what? And I was like, at least the right thing was said. But between that, other persons was like, thank you for speaking out. So sometimes when we have our platform, we want to speak out about that. People love each other. Love every race. There's no, come on, let's love each other. There's no black race, white race. Everyone is one. Love each other. For me, everybody's the same in my eye. I don't see anything different. I don't know what people see, but I just want to say love each other. So, I'm glad Shanade talk about that. And I had my own experience to starting business. When I had my accent, I think having my accent was the hardest thing for me. Because I would meet people, they were like, are you from your immigrant? But I was like, oh, my papers are sorting out. I'm not like, so I had that. And then my husband, being a lawyer, he came to me one day, he was like, you're a very intelligent woman. I want you to wake up out of that, Shanae. And I woke up and I was like, you know what? I am going stronger. Who say accent that? I am showing my accent more. And I did an interview basically with my business, and a guy was like, you know what? I like that you brought your uniqueness into the US. So I just want to tell everyone, be proud of who you are, despite what country you come from, what race you are, love you. Okay, there's only one you, and the world need difference. If you only have a world with only one color, then how boring would that be? And if you only had one color, then how would I taste my good Korean food that I love all the time? And I love my I just wanted to share. I want to go on to Shanae, moving on to the question. Oh, sorry for the echo, everyone. Oh my God, that's my headphone. I'm trying to push it on. Are you hearing any noise in the background? I hope it's not.
Just a small feedback.
Right, now it's gone because my headphone went in totally.
Woo! That's no. Okay, go ahead then.
Hello, life. So yeah, we
Yeah.
should be good now, right?
Yeah, we
So
good now.
yeah, what are the
Yeah.
best resources that have helped you? Best resources that have helped you with your growth?
Best resources. This might sound odd, but you see LinkedIn?
Mm.
LinkedIn has been very helpful for me. I like to network. Now, I network as more of like an observer type at first, but there's some people like go on your favorite websites. So like well, at that time I liked Facebook. I liked Ubisoft. They make video games and they're based in Canada. I like Microsoft. I like Apple. Not really. I don't really have any Apple products, but it's nice to go and look up people in positions that are influential and trying to connect with them on LinkedIn. Sometimes if you write the right message, they will respond and connect with you and talk to you and all that stuff. I like using that as a resource. That's how I got into my first internship away, and that's how I got my current job. It's because of LinkedIn.
Wow,
Just connecting
wow.
with people at random and just talking to them and asking them about what their company does and if they like working there, what is it like? So you have some insight beforehand, and then they recommend you when they're looking for a position. They recommend you of like, I recommend this person. I've been talking to them on LinkedIn, and then that you go off from there.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Do you have yeah.
This is career advice
Yeah.
here, everyone. You
Yeah.
know what? I said I would take LinkedIn seriously, but I think I will take it after Shanae
Yeah.
said.
Also, put your
seriously.
business there. Put your
Yeah.
business on LinkedIn, associate yourself with that business, and post on that business regularly. Our company used to only have 200 followers on our
Yeah.
LinkedIn business page, and we started working with this public relations firm. They're called Valiant Three Communications. I don't even ever look into what they do. They do public relations, marketing, advertising, and helping your business have its own image. But they also post tidbits on their social media. And we got another 200 followers from them in a short space of time.
Wow.
So
wow.
They're teaching us how we should have an impact on that platform. It's a professional social media, so you can't just post anything on there. But anything that can promote your business, promote how you are as a professional, then it would be helpful. I have like 500 plus connections. Some of them I talk to all the time. Some of them I try to keep in contact with them because you just never know.
Yeah, that is so true. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. I would definitely look into that consideration. I've been doing networking in person in New York.
Oh, that helps a ton.
Oh,
LinkedIn?
no, well, yeah, I will try LinkedIn because my husband is like more go up, but I will try LinkedIn too as well for some time. You never know. Always having more is always better.
Exactly.
You know? So,
the people you meet in person, get their LinkedIn and keep the conversation going. That having that continuous conversation with them. So because you don't want them to forget you. You always want, when an opportunity comes up, their first thought goes, Alicia.
Yeah.
I have to contact her. This will be perfect for her. Or something like that.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love that advice, Shanae. Even I am taking that advice. I want to move on to the next question.
Of course.
What has been the biggest influence on your life?
The biggest influence? That's a very good question.
Because
there's a series of things, So, but like,
just give me one.
One big influence
that stand out the most, that really help mold you, make you into the wonderful and successful woman that you are.
My biggest influence has been my grandmother.
Wow.
My mom's
That's touching.
mom. When knowing how she grew up and how things could have progressed, and instead she consciously made a decision that I don't want to live like that. So she grew up with not very much. She grew up with very little things, and she had to get a skill. They didn't have enough money for her to go to secondary school, so she had to get a skill quickly.
Yeah.
So she got into cake decorating and sewing.
Wow.
And later on, it was floral arrangements. But cake decorating and sewing became her bread and butter, and it took her places. She progressed from there. So my grandmother knew about work from home.
Wow.
Since back then. Because people would come to her house for fittings, for wedding dresses, and it progressed to her helping people decorate their halls or coming up with a book on what do you want for your wedding. And she would be the person to do their wedding dresses and for brides and their bridesmaids and working and sometimes making suits and all. So she would become the whole wedding person.
Wow.
That you have your wedding cake for the bride, the groom, you have your wedding dress from all the same, this one lady.
Yeah.
To the point where my grandfather made the comments of, oh, Jean, allow people a chance to make a quick dollar, please, because you can't be doing everything. But that's And to me, it was
Oh,
that
wow.
well-rounded individual thing. It was really from her. And she's still like that. She's 87 now and she still makes
Wow.
cakes. Not as much as she used to because she doesn't have the energy, but she has been coaching my cousin's wife because my cousin's wife has a cake decorating business and she's been coaching her
Wow.
on how to be unique. And
Yeah.
my cousin's wife, now this is a good problem to have, but it's still a problem,
Yeah.
no doubt, but it's a good problem to have. She has been busy nonstop.
Yeah.
Every day she
Wow.
has at least 4 or 5 cakes to be doing every day.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it's
I
stressful, but it's a good problem to have. I rather you have too much customer.
listen, listen. I could say your grandmother is very impressive.
Yeah,
That's hardcore motivation. You know, people thinking,
yeah,
hey, now people think because of the pandemic you're working home. I'm doing multitask. I'm making it as
yes.
a business.
And still had to be a wife and a mother.
Yeah, that's
Still,
amazing.
she still had to be because remember in her time, the wife was the homemaker, the
Yeah,
wife was the teacher,
yeah,
and she was the one doing cleaning. And my grandfather, no, he helped, but it was that typical time. It was of its time that the wife was doing
yeah,
everything, even if they were working.
yeah.
So it
Wow.
was a wonder to me that my mom and my aunt they still do homemaking things,
Yeah.
and I'm just here like I don't
I
know
know.
how
I
she
know
did
the
that.
generation. I know, I know, I know.
Yeah,
But oh my God, Sinead, that even you telling me that was so touching. People can't complain and say they can't do nothing now. You understand?
mhm,
Your grandmother is a pure example of success.
yeah,
And a woman who had a business mind
yeah.
and
Yes,
was
and she
able
still
to,
does. It's still there.
you understand?
Yeah.
She's somebody who is wow. Some people are meant to be business people. Sorry.
Yes. Could you imagine how much like I said here I tell my mom, could you imagine if how differently things would have been had she gone to secondary school or had she
Oh
pursued a
my
degree? And my
God.
mom was like, she was already a force to reckon with, but could you imagine what she would have been like with more
Millionaire,
knowledge?
billionaire.
We would have had
Billionaire.
generational wealth, but instead we have
Yeah.
knowledge that passes down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Oh,
all of my cousins, we all know how to bake. We all know how very minor things about cake decorating. All of us know how to make puff.
yeah.
We all know how to make pastel. We all know how to do these things because
Yeah.
mind you, we never got this is how you do this. We learned from observing, going to her
Yeah.
house and seeing how she talks to people, how she makes her business. Everything was always referrals, but they were a lot of referrals.
Yeah. Referrals is good. Referrals
Yeah.
is success for business.
Mhm.
Referrals is success for business.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
that's
Oh my.
she's still my biggest influence. And you could do anything, and it does not matter if you came from nothing. It does not matter.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
all
my
about
God.
what you align yourself to do. And when you want to do something, you will do it.
Yes, I
Yeah.
love that. I
Yeah.
wish I could talk to your grandmother. That is such an inspiration person. Inspiration, motivation.
Technology.
Technology. Listen, we know the force of technology sometimes. So I want to go on now. I'm
Yes.
going more. I want to ask you this because it's for you.
Mhm.
What are you this for?
Oh, could you repeat that?
What are you proudest of? What is your proudest moment of yourself?
My proudest moment was when I was 17 and I went and I harassed my mom that I would like to sell my art. I used to be more prolific at painting and everything at that point in time and with drawings and being creative and all that. I was way more regular at it. And I told her I want to sell my art. And then she told me, oh, okay, if you want to do that, go and make a budget. Make a budget, choose the place, contact that place, and then come back and talk to me about it. So she thought I was just joking.
Yeah.
And I went and I did my research about how to do an art show, how to market an art show, what kind of budgets do art shows need, and like those type of, is there food, how to cater for the people like
Yeah.
that, and whatever. So I worked out my budget. I
Yeah.
had to do like a presentation. I showed it to her. I said, "This is what I found." I called a few places. This is what I would like to do. This is what I am thinking to do. And I know to get custom framing done, it's about $350 a piece, depending on the size of the painting. But $350 is usually the base price. And so my mom said, okay, you know what? You have a good fragment of the plan, but you did the harder work. But I'll come and help you with the rest. And we spoke to other family members. So we had to I had to network. Even though it was family, I had to network with some of my family members to see, well, what location we could get. Where should we go? Do you know anybody we could do this? And by, I think it was September of that year, I think it was 2011, was able to pull it off successfully. So I had to go with my very small network of people of, okay, let's invite people from my church, and invite people from my aunt's work, invite people from my mom's work, invite people from my uncle's work, and the different boards, because he's on several boards in different credit unions. And he invited those people to come, and they invited people to come. And on the day of, I was just surprised at how much people showed up. And I sold 9 paintings that day. And my friends who were there with their artwork, they sold 3 paintings each. And I sit here and I think, if I didn't stick to it, my mom would have just assumed, oh, it was just one of those like a typical foolish teenager's dream.
Yeah.
But I stuck to it.
Yeah.
She had to believe in it to begin with, because if she didn't, she wouldn't have gone with it. But she went with it, and I was able to pay her back afterwards.
That is so good. That is so good.
It was almost like it didn't happen on her pocket, but it was. I was so proud of that happening. We did it a second time, and I'm just here like, we are pending to have a third art show, but the pandemic makes it difficult. So although I probably could do it very easily over Zoom or something.
Do something over Zoom.
But at the moment, it's just, I sit there and I look at it and I'm like, that almost didn't happen. And I'm so proud of it now, even 10 years after that happened, that I experienced selling my artwork. I experienced being what an entrepreneur would do, and putting together an event like that, and how you need to cater for different things. Because people were there because they wanted to try the food. Some people were there because they wanted to see what the 17-year-old could even paint. People came there not expecting to buy any artwork. They just came to just see what it was about. And some people felt moved to buy some paintings. And some people bought 3 paintings of mine. And I'm grateful to them for that. Some of my friends got more exposure for their works. People still paint. And I'm just here like, I am so proud of that still. Like that actually took place. That actually happened.
Yes,
it doesn't matter your age. It's just you just need to do it.
Yes, exactly. So everyone, I'm so sorry that we are so coming to an end. If you haven't pressed my subscribe button, everyone, we are looking for a lot of support on the channel. Before we go, I want Shanade to talk a little about what she does, where you could be able to find her podcast. Can you give those information, Shanade?
Of course. My podcast is called From Your Zoomerenial Aunt. It's the Zoomer millennial smashed together. So advice is coming from me. Ever so often you'll have Alicia on my podcast about her life experiences. It's all about helping mold the next generation with things we wish that we had. Because we grew up with Generation X parents, and they obviously could help equip us with things, but we have to navigate the world much differently. And we want the generations to come to understand that these things can happen. We recognize that there's patterns in things, and we want to talk about it. I have my Instagram handle is Shanade Beharry. I tend to post a lot of things in my stories, and sometimes I post my own TikToks. My TikTok is also called The Zoomerenial. So I post.
You had to send that to me.
Yeah.
So you could follow. So I could no, because I need more followers. I will follow you, and you could follow me on other pages. But we will do that. Yeah.
Yeah. At the moment, I'm working on my own business at Trinidad. It's more of a consultancy firm. I wouldn't exactly say it's a business, but it's to help improve your business. So your business is our business, kind of thing.
Ooh,
and let's figure out how to make money together. Let's get your process improved. Let's help your customers navigate what it is you're doing. Because some people have excellent ideas. It's just execution.
Yeah, that is so true. Yeah. Execution is it. Ideas are good, but if you can't execute it right, it's just like a program, then you have a lot of problem there.
Yes. You run into a lot. So we work on advertising. Right now I'm focusing on advertising because some people have really good business, but they don't have the know-how on how to acquire new customers other than referrals. And referrals are great, but if you are really small, we need to get you out there. We need your brand awareness to be everywhere. People need to know about you. So we also specialize in those things.
Yeah.
But soon enough, next year, I'm hoping next year, please God, we'll be doing a proper business launch. This is what I do. This is what I focus on. I want to really get those micro businesses out there because micro business grows the economy. They provide jobs. If you have some kind of fundraiser, small businesses where you want to go, is where you want to target to get those things going.
Yes, and as soon as you bring out that, Shanade, I will bring you over on this channel to talk about it. So everyone, we are going. It was such a pleasure. Let's say bye-bye, Shanade, before we go bye.
Right. Bye-bye.
That's the subscribe button. We are actually hitting even back forward 13,000 subscribers back, even though we lost it. But everyone, subscribe.
Please do. Excellent content over at Alicia, and it's real, the real stuff.